Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to start off by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah, Kodash, Olam Yam. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, the ones out there who are doing this work diligently and chiefly keeping the faith, making your calling and your election sure. The title of this one is called U.S.-Iran War. Iran unleashes 88th wave of missile and drone attack. Iran, should I say, promises to rain down fire. Now, this is all part of, World War III, and it's only going to ramp up. All right. And the Lord prophesied for this to take place. So let's continue on.
The war in West Asia has entered its second month. The battlefield is showing no signs of the war slowing down. The United States and Israel have continued their relentless airstrikes across Iran, with powerful explosions reported in Tehran, Isfahan. Despite targeted strikes killing senior Iranian leaders and damaging infrastructure, Iran has responded with a series of missile attacks and retaliatory strikes across the region. Washington carried out major strikes. It targeted a large ammunition depot in Isfahan using 2,000-pound bunker buster bombs. On the battleground in Iran, visuals released by the Iranian Red Crescent showing the aftermath of a strike in Tehran buildings, reduced to rubble, smoke rising, rescue teams searching for survivors amid the widespread destruction there. In Lebanon, smoke was seen rising from Beirut's southern suburbs after fresh Israeli airstrikes. The attacks come after Hezbollah fired rockets towards northern Israel in support of Iran. The IRGC has announced that from the 1st of April, it will target U.S. companies operating in the region in retaliation for the strikes on their pharma infrastructure. 18 major U.S. technology and industrial giants, including Microsoft, Apple, Google, Intel, Boeing, have been named as potential targets. President Trump, meanwhile, has threatened to destroy Iran's main oil export hub, Kharg Island, as well as critical oil wells and power plants. He insists that a diplomatic deal must be reached soon, also urging other countries reliant on oil from the Strait of Hormuz to protect their own interests, hinting that the U.S. will not always be there to defend global supply. Very significant statement. And shortly after Trump's post, Italy reportedly refused authorization for some U.S. aircraft that were headed to West Asia on a combat mission. The permission to land at its base there has been denied. This coming a day after Spain, remember, closed its airspace to U.S. planes involved in attacks on Iran. At the same time, the Gulf Arab states, including Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, have established a unified position. They are calling for de-escalation and an end to the war. According to reports, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Kuwait, Bahrain are pushing Washington to keep hammering Iran until there are significant changes in the leadership. Taking to X, Pete Hegseth posted pictures of his recent visit to West Asia over the weekend, where he interacted with soldiers on the ground. Hegseth asserting that the next few days in the war will be decisive and there is nothing Iran can do about it. Listen to this.
Just 1 month in, only 1 month, we set the terms. The upcoming days will be decisive. Iran knows that, and there's almost nothing they can militarily do about it. Yes, they will still shoot some missiles, but we will shoot them down. Of note, the last 24 hours saw the lowest number of enemy missiles and drones fired by Iran They will go underground, but we will find them.
Conflicting reports have been doing the rounds on the next.
See, that's the thing. America is not prepared to fight Iran in their land. Their land is built for Iran to succeed. They have all the underground tunnels. All they will do is just resort to fighting guerrilla warfare, and surprise attacks. You see, so the Lord is the one who's causing this war to take place. As a matter of fact, let's get it. This is I'm gonna first get Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy." So the Lord is coming back with nuclear missile fire, all right, and he's gathering these nations for battle in World War III. Okay, that's what he's doing. And these weak nations now say that they are strong because they have nuclear missile capabilities. And the scriptures let us know, all right, how they beat their plowshares into swords. This is Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles." The Gentiles in this particular verse is referring to the other nations, those who are outside of Israel, the natural Gentiles. It says, "Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up." Let them come up where? To the valley of Jehoshaphat, the land of decision, where the Lord is going to judge these nations. Verse 10, it says, "Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." So now they have nuclear missile capabilities. Instead of being a weak nation, now they are strong. They have allies who have nuclear missile capabilities as well. Verse 11, it says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about, till there cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord." You see? Verse 12, "Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about." So that's why you see the Euphrates River drying up. That's why you see these nations warring with each other, rumors of war. They're all gathering to West Asia, or the so-called Middle East, to fight against each other and then to ultimately fight against the Lord. You see? In verse 13, it says, "Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great." Right? Referring to these nations and their rulership, right? All of their wickedness that they have done, how their sins have reached unto heaven, according to Revelation chapter 18 and verse, Revelation chapter 18, you can start at verse 1 and read on down, referring to how Babylon's sins have reached unto heaven. It's time for the Lord to judge this place, and he's going to judge them over there in the land of the valley of Jehoshaphat, the land of decision. Right? And this also links up with Isaiah chapter 34 too as well. Joel chapter 3 and verse 14, it says, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision." You see? So the Lord is coming, man. And it's all for the controversy of Zion. All right? All these nations will pay. This great day of the Lord, it will cause many to die from heart attacks, from just fear. I'm going to grab this. Zephaniah 1 and 14. It says, "The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty men shall cry there bitterly." You see? Verse 15. "That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness." Verse 16. "A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers." Verse 17. "And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned," because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Verse 18. "Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So this World War III that's happening now is going to only ramp up, and before you know it, they're going to have to fight against the Lord. All right, let's go back to this video.
Conflicting reports have been doing the rounds on the next steps. According to the Wall Street Journal, Trump may consider ending the air campaign without resolving the Strait of Hormuz issue, leaving the possibility of a later operation to reopen it. In contrast, the Pentagon is considering weeks of ground operations reportedly deep inside Iran, all of the speculation coming amid US troop movements across the region. We've been telling you about that. And Israel's defense forces have now announced that they will complete targeted strikes on Iranian military facilities by the 1st of April. Iran, in turn, has launched missiles at central Israel, all of which were intercepted by air defenses, though debris caused damage. The Iranian Revolutionary Guards claiming to have struck Israel-linked assets and US forces across the Gulf. The human cost of the escalation also mounting. Casualty figures across the region are shocking, to say the least. Iran has lost 3,462 people, with 24,810 injured. Lebanon has 1,238 people dead, 3,543 Israel records, 32 killed, 6,090 injured, US reporting 13 killed, 302 injured. Those are the numbers on the map. Significant deaths and injuries also reported in Syria, Oman, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Jordan. Now, additionally, 3 UN peacekeepers from Indonesia have been killed in southern Lebanon, 2 in a vehicle explosion of unknown origin, and 1 from projectile fire, as Israel and Hezbollah clash in the region. And with the war entering this decisive phase now, the outlook remains rather uncertain. The next moves by the US, Israel, and Iran could determine the future of the region and beyond. Stopping Iran's nuclear program has been at the forefront of Trump and Netanyahu's campaign in Iran. Operation Epic Fury, which was launched on the 28th of February, aiming to prevent Iran from achieving weapons-ready nuclear.
Operations Epic Fury will not be able to stop them from getting nuclear missile capabilities. Why do I say that? I say that because they already have them. Russia and China are the allies of Iran. If my ally have nuclear missiles, that means I have nuclear missiles. Also, Russia and Iran share a nuclear power plant inside of Iran called the Bashir plant or something like that. So they already have nuclear missile capabilities.
Stockpile. And with the war raging for over a month now, and despite Tehran losing key figures in its leadership, Iran's fight back is making it hard for US and Israel to further make any deep military operation. While airstrikes and long-range attacks can damage facilities, destroying or removing Iran's nuclear stockpile would likely require a full-scale ground invasion. With more than 50,000 troops already present across West Asia and reports of 82nd Airborne slated to join that force, Washington's intention of putting boots on the ground has also been talked about. But such operation would not only face Iran's military fury, but also its natural defenses. Let's just break this down for you. The Zagros Mountains, which basically stretch over 1,500 kilometers across western Iran, creating a natural wall, shielding the country from land invasions from Iraq and Turkey. The range extending towards the southern coast near Bandar Abbas, adding an extra layer of defense. Meanwhile, the Alborz Mountains, running along the southern coast of the Caspian Sea, stretching about 900 kilometers. This range forming a barrier between the Caspian coast and central Iran, making any advance through northern Iran a complex and rather dangerous task. Second, Iran's central deserts, which also add another layer of protection. Dasht they covered in north-central Iran, stretching about 800 kilometers, with salty, rocky terrain, making vehicular movement difficult, large-scale operations also costly. And to the southeast, Dasht-e-Lut is one of the hottest deserts in the world, with temperatures reaching up to 70 degrees Celsius. The desert stretching for 80 kilometers and creating a natural obstacle for troop movement, providing strategic defense depth behind Iran's mountain ranges. So that's what the scenario looks like. Iran also controlling key islands in the Persian Gulf and Strait of Hormuz, which provides strategic advantage, basically. Karg Island, which is located 25 kilometers off the coast, is an oil export hub with flat terrain but easy to defend using missiles, artillery and drones. Abu Musa, Greater and Lesser Tun are close to the UAE coast and critical shipping lanes. They allow Iran to control tanker movement into the Strait of Hormuz. These islands are heavily fortified, but small size and limited natural cover, making invasion difficult. Finally, the Hormuz Island Group, which includes Qeshm, Hormuz, Larak, sitting at the gateway of the Strait of Hormuz, control over these islands, giving Iran leverage over global oil shipping lanes. And their proximity to the mainland, making offensive operations extremely risky. Any ground operation into Iran would have to be highly specific, limited in scope as well. Otherwise, it could lead to endless deployments with huge costs and limited success, similar to past conflicts in Afghanistan and Iraq. Washington's high-risk military operations have failed before. Operation Eagle Claw in 1980 to rescue American hostages in Iran failed after mechanical issues. A sandstorm and a helicopter collision leading to the deaths of 8 American soldiers. In 1993, an attempt to capture a Somali warlord in Mogadishu ended in the Black Hawk Down incident, with 18 US soldiers killed. These failures highlighting the deadly stakes involved in any military mission inside Iran. The mission to erase Iran's nuclear future remaining one of the most perilous and complex challenges faced by Washington and Israel as well. With a mountain...
Did you see that? Every time they tried to invade Iran in the past, even to rescue their own, they failed. You see that? Did you see how many different advantages Iran have, against an invading country? Like, come on, man. This is strategically set up by the Lord to usher in this World War III, man.
Deserts, islands forming multiple layers of natural defense in a way, and Iranian missiles, drones, military, of course, waiting. The line between success and catastrophe is rather thin. Experts say all these make such kind of operations.
The United States will have to use their Air Force. There's no advancing on the ground against Iran. There's no advancement. You got the mountains, you got every desert surrounding the whole entire land. The only way the United States can actually put a dent in Iran is through Air Force. And that's what the United States is known for, their Air Force.
Unthinkable in a way, and high stakes gambles like no other.
So you see, I'm going to end the video right there. You see, these nations are preparing for war. Our Lord told us these times were coming. We get to see these things with our own eyes now. So all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Bahashem Harakak Wadash Layulam Yum. Double honors once again to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom once again to the elect. All right, we're almost out of here. Stay strong. Hopefully this is the last Passover. Shalom.